Welcome to the Afterspin opinions from thought leaders across North Carolina. It's harvest time in North Carolina, and NC Spin over the past few years been following closely the success and even the failures of our state's agricultural sector. What can you two report? Becky, where are we at with agriculture in North Carolina right now?
Well, first of all, agribusiness is the number one industry in North Carolina. We are the nation's largest producers of sweet potatoes and tobacco, and lots of other produce as well. So it's a big deal in North Carolina. It's huge and hugely important to our economy. Employs a lot of people. The future of North Carolina's future depends on agribusiness. So it is a big deal, and it is something that we need to pay attention to. It's gotten a tremendous amount of attention at the General Assembly, just this past session as well as others. You know, there have been farm acts and regulatory bills that have been passed consistently for the last decade or so, probably way before that deal with farm issues. And as I'm talking to those legislators and talking to farmers who come to the General Assembly to observe and make their wishes known, there's two issues that consistently stand out as real challenges that we need to pay attention to. One of them is water and the water supply. If you think about it, how many sweet potatoes can you grow if you don't have any water? Right. Another challenge is, of course, the weather. That, you know, we don't have a lot of control over that, but we've seen that with these recent hurricanes, flooding the fields. The hurricanes seem to come in late summer when the fields are in the crop, they're getting ready to be harvested. When do you take them out? Do you take them out? You know, the losses. We've been lucky so far this year, but we've got a ways to go with that. And then the other big challenge is through the courts. And, you know, we've seen these huge nuisance lawsuits that have been lodged against the pork and poultry industries. There's talk now, those were based on nuisance claims. There have been talks now of bringing additional claims that would have to do with trespassing, whether there were chicken and poultry feathers or dust or other things. So, you know, the courts and the permit and the regulations is something that is a tremendous concern to farmers in the farming community.
Joe, our farm economy in North Carolina has really been struggling the last few years. The tariff war, the trade war that Trump's promoting, but commodity prices have dropped too on our major commodities: soybeans, corn, sweet potatoes, tobacco. Where are we at with farming in North Carolina?
Well, I think tobacco is in real trouble this year because of the issues with China. I think that North Carolina tobacco, we may have to take a circuitous route to get to China, and I think that'll probably happen. Becky's right about, you know, we do a good job with sweet potatoes, but we don't control or set the market for any grain. So wheat, corn, beans, we're kind of victims of the national market there because we just aren't a big enough player, even though it's a big piece of our state economy. What I see happening, and I think Chatham County is a good example, you're seeing the rise of more niche farming operations. You know, it seems strange to me, but $60,000 to $70,000 a year net doesn't seem to be a very good living. But there are a whole lot of niche farmers who are making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year net, doing very well and love that lifestyle. I see more of that. In the coastal plain of North Carolina, I think that sea level rise is going to have an extraordinary effect on the farming operations east of I-95. And I think we need to get ready for that because I think that's going to come to roost within the next 10 or 15 years. Not in my lifetime, but within the next 10 or 15 years. And when that occurs, then you're going to see a lot of stress on agriculture east of 95. So I think that we're okay in the short run, but in the long run, we're going to have major changes in the way we produce things.
There is no doubt that farming is a business full of risk.
Well, you know, there's an interesting line in a television show called Yellowstone where the raiser of beef cattle says to an association of cattlemen that they're in the only business in the world that works as hard as they can to break even so they can do it next year.
That's mighty true.
You gotta love it.
Joe and Becky, thank you. And thank you for watching the Afterspin. More video all during the week on ncspin.com.